How's it going, Lisa? Bruce is up. I'll be Sixkilla and welcome back to Meteor World Actor Badge and Dagger. We just had our first night at the new hotel that we're staying while we're fused together with Fuyumi. She seems to have a plan on how to get that get the arm thing sorted, which is good because our guy does not seem to have a clue. Let's carry on. Three of us are sitting in silence, waiting. There's not much conversation as the morning comes. I'm back with breakfast. Thank you, Detective Claris. You're welcome. I'm used to having to go buy stuff for Ruka. You mean supporting your senior officer. Shall I report him for abuse of power? Please do. Don't. I grab the shopping bags off Claris. Be careful with that, it'll spill. Alright, time to dig in. You absolute child. Fuyumi looks exasperated. But do I see a smile underneath? No. No, definitely not. Aha, got it. A call interrupted our morning meal. When it ends, I meet Fuyumi's eyes. What did you get? Some real nice information. Tamako caught Marghezzi on a surveillance camera. Nice one, Tamako. And, where is he? He went into a hotel in the Horizon District. And he's not been seen to emerge. Nope. Which means he's probably still lying low in there. This is an opportunity. The question is how many guys he has with him. If he's alone, we've got him. But what if he's not? Insofar as he belongs to some organisation, there is a real possibility he has reinforcements. Normally, we'd want more people on our end to make sure that we had all the exits locked down. But all we've got here are me, Fuyumi and Claris, the three of us. For this kind of thing, Melissa doesn't count. What's worse, me and Fuyumi are only half useful and can't move independently. You're in charge of the roof. You got it. She's our only option for aerial support. Me and Fuyumi will go inside the hotel, as we don't have any other options. We'll also have Tamako watching the surroundings in real time on the cameras. She should catch Marghezzi if he tries to run, or any other signs of incoming trouble. Nobody objects, so we make our way. We get ready to move, I think. We exit the hotel. It's chilly out, and a cool wind bites at our cheeks. I'll come in from the sky then. Thanks. Claris nods and then soars up into the darkness. I get envious of elves sometimes. Because they can fly? Yes, and because they have powers. Keepers and elves both can do amazing things. Ordinary humans like me can't compete. I'm surprised you're so down on yourself. I thought Curator was setting an example for you normal humans. He certainly is. I respect the Superintendent's strength as a person. But it isn't everything, huh? If I had more power, perhaps I might have protected those I wished to. Sometimes I can't help dwelling on it. I sigh and white mist lingers in the air. It's just that cold. I guess keepers and elves are special in a way. Sometimes I've hated my powers, but they saved my life over and over again. There's a white mist out there right now. It's the middle of fucking winter here and it's freezing. The only reason I can work the cult case at all is because I have my ice powers to help me. If it weren't for them, I'd be dead 100 times over. They haven't been much good for protecting things though. Sometimes they even bring trouble my way. Is that the way of things? And sometimes you're screwed whether you have whatever your powers are. Some things are too strong to stand up against. Whether you're an elf or a keeper, doesn't make a lick of difference. By your standards, that's strangely convincing. Have you ever failed to protect something important? Maybe. Maybe not. I laugh it off. Anyway, why don't you tell me already? What? The real reason you're chasing this case. You told me back when we first met up on it. You thought someone close to you might have committed suicide. I may have mentioned it. You were lying, right? What makes you think so? You must have put it together the second you heard of the case. Nobody was committing suicide after working their job. They did the job and then they got murdered. And having no family was a requirement, so nobody had a reason to ask questions. After all, when a friend commits suicide, you mostly have to accept it. You don't barge into the police station shouting, "My friend would never do that," don't you? It was simply a calculated turn of phrase. There was not enough information yet to confirm that the family member of mine was murdered. Family, huh? Could have sworn not having one was a condition. If you can't tell me, fine. We might not get out of this in one piece, that's all. Our arms are still fused together right now. Even if we survive, they might not work when we're done. I was just wondering what I did all this for. Very well. I've involved you enough that perhaps you do deserve to know the basic outline. When I first heard of this suspicious job, it was the condition that applicants have no family that caught my attention. I thought, maybe what? I'm alone. I have no parents or siblings left alive. You told me one time that your brother got murdered in front of you. Yes. The horror of it still burned into my mind, but every year my memories grow less certain. The expression on his face, how it all happened, year by year it slips out of my memory. Sounds like she's been blaming herself for that. It's just how human brains work. We don't remember every bad thing that ever happens. You can't dwell on the worst parts of the past forever. That's a way of living that leaves people broken. I'll be wondering, how are you sure he's dead? I'm positive. You said he was bullet-ridden. Maybe nothing hit the vitals. And memory's fickle. Are you sure it was fatal? I did not actually touch him to check. You're saying there's a chance he's still alive. There isn't. I know it's not possible. But, still maybe, somehow. Maybe just one of them could be? If not him, then maybe someone. So that's what made you go berserk on this case. It was that delusion that sent me off on a rampage, yes, in that sense, perhaps I have no right to criticize you. Bet you Kuta never saw that one coming. Did you catch any sign of your family in the end? None. The list of suicides we were able to obtain did not contain anyone whose age matched up. Even if your brother is still alive, he could be fused up in a chimera, like we are right now. Which is probably better not to think about. He might. Regardless, I managed to put my delusions to rest. He's dead, and as a positive, I have now accepted that. But Fuyumi's smile looked somehow disgusted with herself. I violated regulations, disobeyed orders, and got myself stuck to you of all people. Aside from that, positive, this has been a disaster. Okay, I get it already. There were better ways of looking into it, though. You don't have to go making such dangerous bets. Our approach this time was high risk, high return. I only became reckless after exhausting my options. I've worked with PIs and made extensive inquiries. Even Superintendent Ikuta assisted me at times. Ikuta? He was actually helpful? And you still didn't get anything? Fuyumi nods resignedly. The only conclusion I ever reach is that they're all dead. Or else, if they're still alive, they're unable to make contact. Or else, outside the borders of this country, I have investigated a number of improbable theories and ruled them all out. Sounds like hard work. I don't know what we would even have to talk about anymore. She just wants to know for sure whether they're alive. For Fuyumi, that would be enough. May I ask you a question as well at this point? Shoot. Have you ever found it painful being all alone? What? That? It's kind of cliche, but I give her an answer. Not really. I mean, I never had much time to think about it. Even as a kid, I was mostly busy staying alive. Never had time to wonder what a family would be like. I see. Maybe I caught a glimpse of it one time. There was somebody I thought I'd like to call family. A lover? That would have been nice. More like a snarky old jerk with a beard. Would that be Detective Musashi? I guess Fuyumi does know a thing or two about me. He's why I'm hung up on the cult case, you know. You've been fighting them all this time, haven't you? The cult is off limits. If I were doing that, I'd never admit it. May I ask you one more question? You're full of them today. I don't expect to speak with you like this again, you see. I've been wondering as I observed you these past days. Your outbursts and your attitude were as I expected, but in some ways you're a different man than I thought. Your powers and how you apply them, your physical abilities and creativity in the field. If you made an effort, could you have not risen through the ranks? What now? Even lacking the diligence of Superintendent Ikuta, you could easily be amongst the First Division's vanguard. Since when do you say nice things about me? Wouldn't promotion have helped you weed out the cult? Looking back on it now, you might be right, but I'm not so much what you call patient. Years of struggle to start my style. That's all there is to it. Why, that was your most convincing statement today. Hey. A perfectly good compliment, ruined by context. The pay and the benefits would have been real nice, but the higher you go, the closer they watch you. Indeed. I feel as if I can see you better now. Don't you fall for me, girl. Relax, I won't. You don't have to make it sound so convincing. At least leave the door open, come on. It's about time, isn't it? Yeah. As we get closer to our target, the conversation dies. I hope we can get things back to normal soon. Things are looking quiet in front of the hotel. Are you all set? I am. Are you ready? I do not want you slowing me down when the action starts. Sounds like your sass is in peak condition. Let's go. Fuyumi tries to walk off, but I feel some sort of eyes on us. Wait. What for? Something's off. Something? What exactly? The doorman is saying something into his microphone. That isn't strange in and of itself. It's part of his job to keep in touch with the staff inside, but he doesn't seem to be doing anything. The only thing moving near the entrance is us, and he's letting someone know we're here. So who's someone? Bet you it's Marghezzi. This guy's in his pocket. He doesn't look flustered. He's reporting calmly on our every motion. That suggests they have an escape plan prepared. Probably not just an emergency exit. It'd take too long for them to get down from a higher floor. What does that leave? An elf? Clarice, are you in position? Yes, I'm all set up. Marghezzi should be with you within a few minutes. Huh? He's coming this way? Yeah, but he isn't the problem. I think he's gonna have some friends with him. I can't handle all that on my own, so get out of there and come meet us. What are you saying? She needs to delay them until we can get out of there before you get surrounded. Okay, they're here. Damn it, that's too fast. Stop where you are. An elf? To think the police have drawn the net so tight already. What now, Marghezzi? You're already surrounded. Give yourself up quietly. Drat. Calm yourself. The police are in action, but isn't this strange? There are far too few of them. But a quite limited action, perhaps? By just a few officers? Does that sound familiar? See how stricken she looks. I see what you mean. Don't rush to assumptions. You're surrounded by a large force of officers of the law. How many? What? By how many are we surrounded? Like 500 people? Haha, you're an amusing one. I think it's rather more like 3. The 2 from before and this 1 elf. We have nothing to fear here, Hans. Good. You brought this on yourselves. Clara starts spinning up some wind magic, but... her body loses the power of flight in midair and begins a rapid descent. What? Fall and die. Hans with his hands extended. And fall. Deaths. The sound of impact is sharp and brutal. Fleeting. As all great art is. Wow. Man, these backgrounds are so pristine. So pristine. I have to... You know? Fucking beautiful, man. The way all the new backgrounds like pan across the... I know this is not a good time to stop and talk because there's action going on, but the way the new backgrounds pan across the screen and all of that, man, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Anyway. Ruka, save me! Her scream reaches my ears, but in the dark it's hard to spot where Clarice is falling. And I've still got Fuyumi stuck to my arm. What do we do, Detective Hiryu? Not much of anything. That's why I told her to get out of there. I'm dying. I'm an elf and I'm gonna die from falling. I'm never gonna live this down. Still has the presence of mind to monologue? Oh wait, huh? What's up? I can fly again. What a relief. Good to hear. It'll be because of Hans's power. He can free somebody so they can't move. But Clarice fell all the way out of his range. She did good, catching herself in that panic. Come pick us up. Roger. Clarice swoops over immediately. Then she lifts off again with us in tow. How are you planning to deal with that this time? Clarice yells over the whooshing wind. If he uses the same power again, I won't be able to keep myself in the air. He's gonna have a hard time staying up long at all, carrying the 2 of us. We'll have to finish this thing fast. You do have an actual plan, do you not? Of course I don't. Are you crazy? Fuyumi's face is a picture of speechlessness. Clarice is used to me, so she spares her face the effort. We'll just do this on the fly. You're joking, right? I hate to say it, but he's probably serious. Dead serious. Fuyumi cradles her face in her hand. Yeah, she's not really used to this do or die stuff. I start scrambling a plan together. They do both got some annoying powers. But physically, they're nothing special. I landed square hits on both of them, and they couldn't defend themselves. Good thing those 2 aren't seconds, or they'd be shrugging off bullets like bug bites. That'd ruin our plan to finish this thing fast. Yes, but we'll nail them in one move. Otherwise Marghezzi and Hans might call them more friends. An elf or someone else with that kind of mobility. Some getaway along those lines must be en route already. Finally, Fuyumi gets her head in gear too. What bothers me is why it's a hotel at all. They must have better concealed hideaways. Who knows? Can't say what they're playing at, but something is up. If we let them draw this out, we'll be finding out what. Coming up on the roof now. Shouting the news like a battle cry, Clara stiffens. When we're over the rim and have eyes on the roof. Then we're over the rim and have eyes on the roof. With Claris busy flying. Us two look for the perps. Where are they? There. It's Hans and Marghezzi. And with them, two men I don't recognize. Maybe those two are the reason they picked this hotel. They spot us too. You can't even die right? Hans raises his arms in our direction. Let's go, Fuyumi. Don't try to give me orders. I signal Claris to drop us and we land on the rooftop. Duran, which am I supposed to aim at? Faced with a split-second targeting decision, Hans wavers. His power is dangerous, but the man is an amateur. Marghezzi stays cooler. They're quite the lively little pieces of art. Doesn't sound like he thinks he's getting brought in today. Do you know what happens to moths when they reach the flame? Alpha, Beta. The two men move to stand in front of Marghezzi. Teach these little whimsies what a masterpiece is. I'll cover you. Above us, Claris begins chanting a wind spell. A squall rises behind our backs and lashes at Marghezzi's beam. But, barrier of wind. One of the men cuts Claris up with a chant of his own. Another elf? That's Claris's surprised reaction. But I can see the man's features and he's something else. Now burn. 1 second is wind magic. The next one he called Alpha is flinging bolts of flame at our faces. What? Claris clumsily switches into aerial evasion. Fire and wind? What is this? A chimera? He was fusing people's powers together, remember? Are you stunned? Marghezzi is grinning like I gave him a compliment. What do you make of my art? Hyper-evolved lifeforms born in the fusion of powers. The glorious fruits of the Chimera Project. You're messed up in the head, man. Killed him. Marghezzi shouts his command. But I can see him sweating. Maybe these guys aren't as evolved as all that. Or maybe there's another reason for it. Grrr. The other man starts running and he's on top of us before we have time to react. He's fast and powerful, but doesn't seem that nimble. We should be able to get ourselves out of the way. Right. Left. At almost the same moment, the two of us dodge. Whoa. The trouble is that we dodge in different directions. With our arms stuck together, it doesn't go well. Moron, we should have gone this way. No, my way was correct. Since we're standing a little ways apart, it stands to reason we read things. Suddenly there's a huge fist in my vision. That fist is inside my range now. I whip up a blade of ice. Then I stab it deep into this beta guy's leg. He barely flinches as his fist blows me away. I was lucky he screwed up his footwork there. If he hadn't, he'd have screwed up my face. But now his leg's messed up. He won't be charging at us in so fast anymore. Or at least he shouldn't be. Look, the wound in his leg. Yeah. It's closing up so quick I can see it happening. That healing is way faster than the hardiest Seggets. It seems you've arrived at an understanding. One power that reinforces the body, another that bestows instant regeneration. And my immortal artistry to unite the two. I call that piece Beta. He's actually bragging. I guess he doesn't mind how gracelessly Beta moves when he's got two powers going for him. Finish them, Hans. Yes, sir. 4 against 3. Hans starts lining up his hand at us again. Our last attempt to dodge was a disaster. I'll have to try go Fuyumi's way this time. Left. Right. What? Why? We yank away from each other and lose our balance. Look at you idiots. Hans gets his hand in position and we freeze. What an incompatible pairing. It has begun to strike me as cruel to kill them. He's definitely confident now, gloating. Why the hell did you go right? Because you tried to go that way last time. I was trying to follow your lead this time. So was I. Going your stupid way would have been better than this. Since when do you listen to other people's opinions? Since when the hell do you listen to mine? Please, you two, this is no time to argue. Irrefutable logic descends from on high, but the only part of me I can move is my mouth. Then let's pick a direction now, and next time... With a wild roar, Beta comes charging in like a spear. I guess he's not giving us time to talk this out. Barrier of wind. Claris tries to support us, but Alpha blows their barrier away before it can get strong enough to do anything. Beta's boulder of a fist catches me in the cheek. I can't brace myself for it, so the damage is bad. Detective Hiryu. What a grotesque display. From the sound of things, your jawbone is now a fluid. Ow. Are you alright? I'm dying. Before I go, please, let me kiss you. Absolutely not. Your mouth still seems to be working. Beta's arm is still in a punching position, glued to my face as if it can't move. As if it's frozen there. Good thing we've got the handsy one. Fuyumi looks closely at my face and sees it. You get it now? Upon closer inspection, your face is dirtier than I thought. Idiot, that's your takeaway? What? What's happening? I drew a sheen of frost over my cheek and bit back. It took the hit for me, and now it's all over Beta's fist. It was a simple tactic. I couldn't get at him, but he could come to me. I flood my power outwards, freezing Beta solid. Ooh, what a turn! Now it's 3 against 3. In a fight, you always want to overestimate the keepers. Ain't you ever been in a scrap before? Keepers can come back from a lot when you let them. Wow. And my powers also have that property in spades. How can you control your powers so well in this state? I've got a lot less balanced control with my right arm fused together with Fuyumi like this. I can't freeze anything solid at range right now, but touch me and it's a whole different game. And that's why I was waiting for that chance. Which I wanted to take the first time he hit me, really, but I screwed up the timing and lost the opening. But the turnabout has put hope back in Fuyumi's eyes. What will we do next? What? What do you mean next? The 3 of them will be keeping their distance now. How will you counter that? I did just blow my trump card. That got Beta off us, but the rest probably won't try to punch us again. You tell me. You revealed your only means of resistance without a plan? Yeah, it just kind of slipped out. Fuyumi looks ready to roll over and give up. We can see that it would be unwise to approach. Alpha, respond appropriately. Oh no, he's a genius. That makes us harder. Neither Claris nor Fuyumi has the energy to sass me. Alpha starts chanting into the wind spell. Claris? We'll have to rely on her for our own long-range specialist. Nice try. The winds collide and cancel each other. The trouble is what comes next. Fire? Yeah. Alpha turns to his fire powers instead. Claris can't handle 2 kinds of magic at once. She has to drop her attack and dodge. He ain't remotely a match for him. Alpha drops back to fall behind Marghezzi. Grabbing his boss, he starts to fly upwards. Not more dirty tricks. A long-range flight wouldn't be in our favor, but it would beat the hell out of letting them run. Marghezzi must be thinking more or less the same thing, because he takes the chance. The moment it presents itself. Wait for me! Hans races over to Marghezzi, but he's already taken off. I'm afraid this is a one-man flight. Thank you for your service, Hans. Come on! Marghezzi's trying to escape down the Alpha Vader. Like hell! I pull out my gun and pop a few caps up at Alpha. They bounce pathetically off the wind barrier he has up again. Looks like an ordinary gun isn't going to slow them down. They're getting away. Alpha screams and his body jerks to the left. A split second later we hear the bang of gunfire. A sniper? I don't know where it came from, but I can guess who. Alpha falls back to the roof with a hole in his shoulder. He yells out a command, the pain clear on his face. What are you doing? Get back up there. Sorry, I don't think that's happening. What? Marghezzi gapes up at us. What do you think you're doing, Hans? Hans, supposedly in charge of restraining us, is staring at Marghezzi like he's a heap of maggots. Thanks for betraying me. He let us go when Marghezzi abandoned him. You picked a bad moment to turn on your power. You slime. Marghezzi tries to point his hand our way. Not happening. I stamp his hand into the ground and unleash my power. It freezes over his whole body except for his face. That was supposed to be a cry of pain. His eyes tell the story, but Marghezzi can't move. Any remaining will to fight saps out of Hans and Alpha. And I notice that my right arm feels strangely light. Ruka, your arm! Looks like Marghezzi let up on his power. We cuff Hans and Alpha. Without missing a beat, Fuyumi radios in for backup. Are they dead? Marghezzi and Beta are still busy being ice cubes. Only mostly. They're getting there though. Give them another minute and they will be. Please release your power. You sure you don't want to just let them die? If they live, what you've been up to will get around. I am sure. We do not solve crimes in order to kill the perpetrators. So that's Fuyumi's answer. There really isn't much point to killing them here either. I let up on the ice. Marghezzi and Beta are still both unconscious, but what they went through shouldn't be fatal. Fingers crossed. I want Marghezzi moved immediately, then treated and questioned. Ikuta's orders are eagerly obeyed by his men. I let out a long and well-earned sigh. That was a rough couple of days. It must have been difficult for you. Oh, it's tough having a bucket of bad moods stuck to your arm. I figured she'd argue, but she's quiet in front of Ikuta. This may be your first breach of protocol, but you've certainly made the most of it. I'm prepared to accept my punishment. You should be. Acting on your own without authorization is tantamount to betraying the MPA. This isn't something that we can overlook. I understand. Ordinarily, conducting an unauthorized investigation of the scope would result in a disciplinary dismissal. Yes, sir. This time, however, the cause lies with this man. Ikuta gives me a look. In a sense, you're a victim of his unprofessional behaviour. As a result, your punishment has been lessened to a 1-week disciplinary suspension and a reduction of your salary. Ruka, you'll be docked 1 month's salary. Life is hell. You should be grateful to keep your job at all. Fine. I'll dock my caseload to match. As if you earned your pay in the first place. What do you know? That concludes your punishment. Huh? Wait a moment. He was not the one who organised this illegal investigation. The blame falls on me. I've already had a full report from Ruka. He dragged you into this case and that's the end of it. What is that supposed to mean? It's not supposed to mean anything, it's the truth, right? Anyway, I'm going home. Luke, you can't just leave me here. Excuse me, Superintendent. That is Detective Hiryu, he didn't... Ikuta doesn't let Fuyumi finish that sentence. In an effort to improve his own evaluation with the MPA, Ruka threatened you into leaking information from the first so that he could take credit for solving the case. Well, that was the picture he drew in his report. This is unacceptable. The truth is the opposite. I involved him and... If that's true, it's too late to act on it. If you want to argue, you can try resigning. In that case, not that would lessen Ruka's punishment. And keep in mind that he set this up himself. Why? Who knows? If you ask directly, he might tell you. Knowing him, he'll have gone either to a diner or to Love and Peace. I imagine he's there right now killing time. Mr. Ikuta's no fun at all, but he seems like a decent guy. Detective Hiryu. For reasons known only to herself, Fuyumi barges in, out of breath, to Love and Peace. Perfect timing. Huh? Me and Claris are kind of stone broke here. Good to see you, girlfriend. I mean, Detective Fuyumi. Looks like we're covered, Ryoko. Grab us our order. Gotcha. Huh? Grab a seat. You're saving us here, seriously. I see. You want to order something? I mean, it's your money. Then I'll have a coffee. No, I need to speak with you. What about? Why would you pull a stunt like that? I was the one who got you caught up in the case. What? I told you, I just took the delivery job for a quick buck. That's, well, yes, but once you knew that it was premised on a lie, you could have removed yourself from the investigation. You remained involved because you knew I would continue pursuing it, did you not? Figured it might pay off somehow. How was I supposed to know it was going to be a nightmare? I busted my butt moving that chip and still lost the pay. Oh right, and then I almost died. Last time I get mixed up in a mess like that, I swear. That is an unacceptable answer. Regardless of why you stayed involved, you could certainly have pushed the blame off on me. If I knew you at all, you would have done so. Yeah, man, I wish I thought of that. That's definitely Ruka. He thinks his partner's accomplishments are his. And that all his failures are his partner's. You know Ruka pretty well. Fuyumi nods furiously. But did you do that for my sake? Did you lie in the report to protect me? Fuyumi, I got you pegged as someone who's going places. What? You're gonna get promoted all the way up the ladder. And then I want you to remember how you feel right now. Think of all that gratitude and give me a big pay rise. Is that your aim all along? It's not every day I get to earn favours with the first. You think I was gonna let a chance like this slide? As you can see, your gratitude is wasted on him. Hell no, being grateful to me is great. Keep it up. I see. So that was the scheme. I don't need my coffee. I'm leaving. Slow down. You still got to pay for our food. I suppose I did promise. I'll keep my word. I hope I never have to deal with you again. You don't have to. Just stay grateful, darling. Excuse me? Fuyumi settles the bill and moves for the door. Ryoko follows. Wait. What is it? I overheard a little bit of what you two were talking about. I know it's tempting to be angry with Ruka, but he isn't all that bad, really. And he does do a good job of appearing that way. In the end, he only operates for his own benefit. That's how he likes it to look. He doesn't know how else to express himself. You seem to know him very well. I've known him a really long time. Working as a waitress, you hear a lot of stuff, good and bad. Not all the stuff you want to know. I get why you don't want to hang around him anymore, but don't you want to know a little more about Ruka? How he thinks and what he's doing? If you really knew him, I don't think you'd hate him as much as you do right now. And I'd rather not know him. It's far simpler to hate that man. He makes it so easy. Yes, I guess he does. Come by again sometime and have that coffee you paid for. Thank you, I will. You have such a roundabout way of doing things, Ruka. Me? No way, I'm straight as an arrow. Doesn't look that way to me. Watch your shop for me for a second, okay? For some reason, Ryoko rushes out, leaving us almost alone in the cafe. There's one other customer. What's her problem? She went after Detective Fuyumi. Did Fuyumi forget something here? Ah, well, I'm not going to worry about it. Hey, give me another coffee. Hey, it's the brick for a face man. An earthy voice fills Love and Peace. Looks like the other guy wanted another cuppa. Right, it's just me and Clarice in here right now. Nobody's going to be filling that order. Huh? The owner's not here? Maybe he's out taking a piss. I need another coffee. The man gets up to rustle up a server. He's wearing a suit and middle-aged. Actually, I think I've seen this guy before. He seems to notice us too. With a grin, he approaches. Yo, is this someone you know, Ruka? Nah, what gave you that idea? You sure he's not one of your exes or something? That isn't funny. And he's probably talking to me, I guess. What do you want? You trying to glare me to death, Detective Ruka Hiryu? Sounds like you know who I am. Let me turn that around. You don't know who I am? No clue. My name's Kadoma. Kinda like you. He flashes a police badge at me. Kadoma? So this is the guy the chief was talking about. You know what? He probably is. He looks old enough for the part anyway. But I'm gonna keep on playing dumb. No reason to put all my cards on the table. So you're a cop? You couldn't tell? I guess it's pretty obvious. You look straight out of a drama. You play the aging deadbeat detective. Ouch, that stings. I cracked my share of heads together back in the day. Looks like you know your lines too. He sounds like you, Ruka. Like hell he does. Are you sure about that? Feels kinda like I'm looking into your future. Nah, that isn't where I'm heading. Everyone knows I'm gonna be a silver fox. Can't say I've ever seen you at the station, man. Actually, I haven't either. Is that a fake badge? You sure come up with some funny theories, elf girl. I guess that makes sense you two don't know me. He scratches away at his head as he answers. I work out at a tiny office in the boonies. I did hear that it'd been swept under the rug. So you're like me. What do you want? Word is you blew the lid off something interesting. Project Chimera, I think they were calling it. You got good ears to pick that up from the boonies. When you're my age, you hear a lot of stories. I was hoping you could tell me one. Got a minute? We're busy people. Could have fooled me, taking your time with your food. It's all over our table, still barely touched. Fine, make it snappy. With a key to show a little respect, I'm nobody's boss. But I got a good 20 years on you, you know? Please let me apologise for Ruka. He's like this with everybody. It's about as rude as anything I've said. I don't really mind. I know he thinks he's some kind of maverick. What? Kadoma slides himself in next to Clarice uninvited. She panics a little and scooches away. Not visibly offended, Kadoma continues. I hear you came out of the youth division. What if I did? Relax, I'm not going to bite. I'm pretty damn impressed with you, that's all. You started in a place with a history like that and you're still just... And you're not just still alive, but still a cop too? So Dakota, and he's the superintendent now. Not that I'm happy about it, but it's a handy parry. That's true. There's Sasuke too while we're at it. You know your stuff, elf girl. Detective Hiryu actually told you all this? I ask a lot of questions. I got one too. Are we done? I'm hungry. Don't mind me, go ahead and dig in. What's keeping that waitress? Damn. Kadoma complains into empty air. Just then the door swings open and Ryoko returns. Hey, give me a refill. Yeah, sorry to keep you waiting. You planning on drinking that here? It ain't against the law. And we still got stuff to talk about. Wanna cut to the chase one of these days then? You've beaten around every bush in the city already. So far it all seemed like random chit-chat, but there's something sharp behind his eyes. Maybe if we're lucky, an actual point. Heh. With a single short chuckle he folds his arms. So you know how to keep your eyes open too. Not a speck of respect, but you see it all. Maybe. I think you're giving him too much credit. Maybe, but not enough to tell you two everything. Trust's a different thing from respect, you know? Who asked you anyway? You're not saying much that we want to hear. Oh, you don't know that? Kadoma scans the inside of the shop again. Once he's sure that there's no one around, he gets to the point, and it's a nasty one. You got any interest in the Cult Massacre? That's a trap. Baited, not hidden, and possibly armed. What does he think he's playing at? Whatever his game is, this Kadoma's been doing his homework on me. There's a job I'd like to offer you. You're funny for an old guy. Stuff like that has to go through the chain of command. Your boss. That's just Yamada, right? Do you know who to talk to? Yeah, I know the guy pretty well. We joined at the same time, me and him. At the same time? You look about the same age, I guess. He's still breezing along, taking everything easy. Sounds about right. Then he hasn't changed. I'm sorry this took so long. Thanks. Ryoko comes by with a coffee. So you're a detective? What, you noticed? Waitressing around here, you learn how to tell. You did sort of have that air about you. With those words and a smile, Ryoko steps away again. Now, back to our talk. You want me to get the okay from Yamada? I can't. Then I can't help you. I'm all about my boss's orders. Can't lift a finger without those. You're pretty funny yourself. Ain't your whole career mostly just one long rampage? Not sure who ordered you to get on that Chimera case. He's not making this easy. Let me put it another way for you, okay? I'm not going to do whatever you want me to. You're not? Man, that's a pity. Kadoma pulls a thin rectangle out of his pocket, white and made of paper, the back of a photograph. He sticks it out at me. Take a look. I'm good. I promise it's going to interest you. I told you I'm good. And I'm not this easy to bait. If he thinks the word cult gets me hook, line and sinker, he's not just funny. He should be a comedian. I'll just take a little peek then, okay? Clarice extends a hand, but Kadoma grabs it. Seems he has other ideas. Stop, elf girl. Detective Hiryu ought to see this first. Otherwise things will go sideways. If he passes on seeing this, he'll regret it till the day he dies. It could be a bluff, but that's very possible. Maybe it'll be blank. It could well be nothing. If he thinks I'm taking it because this is cult related, then I'm handing him a weapon against me for no reason. Supposing it really is cult related though. He could even give me a new angle on them. What are you waiting for? Not gonna look? You got a hell of a way of negotiating, but I'm curious enough to take a glance. That's a relief. I reach out and grab the photo. Turn it up so I'm the only one who can see. Huh. And the photograph is... What do you think? Interested after all? Ruka, what's in the picture? Lies. I throw the thing down on the table. It flips over in midair and lands face up. How? It's a member of the cult's leadership, Schwald. A man whose body disappeared, who came back to life. A man about whom very few know the truth. Not even Clarice knows the whole story. If that's doctored, you put in way too much effort. Or maybe it's just an old picture you dug up. You think so? What else could it be? But Schwald's corpse vanished out of the morgue, and a strange kind of sand showed up where it had been. Ain't that right? He's done his homework way too well. From where I stand, it looks like Schwald's still alive. That picture's newer than you'd think. Too bad it's not possible. What are you trying to get me to say here? Nothing. Just trying to lend you a hand. Get in touch here sometime, if you feel like talking. He jots out some contact info, then tosses back his coffee, which must still be hot. I got high hopes for you, Detective Hiryu. Kadoma pays his bill and leaves love and peace. But look at that picture. Do you think it was real? No way it was. Like I said, it wouldn't be tough to fake. But his body really did disappear? Yeah. That'd have to be the cult taking it, is all. Didn't want to leave one of their bosses with the cops. Well, maybe they figured it could lead us to something. Anyway, it didn't get up and leave the morgue on its own. How can we be really 100% sure? If he's alive somehow, aren't we in for trouble? If he's got a power that makes him immortal, like his nickname, and I hate to admit it, but he's the strongest criminal around. If it's true that he's alive, and he's active in the shadows, Clarice will find that out sooner or later. Yet Detective Kadoma, I don't think he's after the cult. What makes you say that? Because I am, and I'd know. The only ones in the MPA pursuing the cult case are Sasuke and me. I'm absolutely certain that there's no one else here. Not even out at some provincial office. I haven't heard anything like that from Linda either. I was ready for a break from that after that Chimera case. No rest for the wicked after all. What will we do now? First, let's check out Kadoma. But he's a detective. Technically, I mean. Being on the MPA's payroll doesn't make you innocent. You know that as well as I do, right? It's hard to forget. A bit of old shared history. We both stared down the barrel of the wrong side of justice. Alright, we need to wrap this one up because I let it go on for way too long. But I was interested in hearing what Kodama had to say. Very interested, in fact. Looks like we might be working with him in the future. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks again out for me, and I'll see you in the next one.